Hey, how's it going? This is your Daily Sweet Talk for April 2nd, 2023. The Flintstones have had a weird life cycle. They have a weird place in, I guess, zeitgeist is the term you would use. They have a weird place in the pop culture zeitgeist. I almost feel like Scooby-Doo at this point is more known, notable, currently influential to people, just because it's remained around for so long in different forms, whereas the Flintstones has not. But it seems like the Flintstones, I guess just because Hanna-Barbera is more willing to experiment with Scooby-Doo than the Flintstones. Because Flintstones is really, like, I would say their biggest property. It's almost like they kind of have the three sections of Hanna-Barbera, the three main sections. You got the Flintstones and the Jetsons. You got Scooby-Doo, and I guess the Scooby-Doo like clones, sort of deal. Then you got your Jellystones, Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, etc. Although I guess you could say there's a fourth with like Space Ghost, Johnny Quest, etc. That sort of stuff. But my point is, Flintstones isn't really around anymore. Flintstones is not currently present, despite having been so influential. It was funny because it was also like pretty much a parody of The Honeymooners, which is even less influential now, or like even less like present now. Like its biggest staying power has been in the Flintstones, which also doesn't have much staying power now, but was a predecessor to the stuff like Simpsons, Family Guy, etc. that we have now, in a certain form. And of course that's like some of the, Simpsons, some of the biggest, pop culture things in the world in the past like 50 years, whatever. But the form that the Flintstones is most present in now is just in its brand deals. Took me a while to get to the topic there. Over halfway over. If you asked a kid now who Fred Flintstones is, they'll probably say they're the mascot for Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles, which is crazy. There's also the vitamins. There was also the Push Pops. Those aren't really around anymore. But they've had these it's like brand deals like that exist in other forms. You got the Scooby-Doo gummies. Those have been around for a while. You got it's hard to think of others that I can even really compare and say, yeah, sure, you have that. Because really, the Flintstones ones have been so successful. There's Donald Duck orange juice, I guess, is that. The Flintstones ones have been so successful that they, like, Fred Flintstone is basically a food mascot now, which is crazy. Like, one of the most influential cartoons of the past decade, whatever. Not decade. Is now basically just a food mascot. Depending on who you ask. And I think they are working on a reboot right now with I don't think it's not the Seth MacFarlane one. And we'll see how that goes, but I still think, if it's not successful, it will continue that Fred Flintstone is the vitamin guy, the cereal guy. Which is it's just really weird to think about that's their form now, especially considering that no other pop culture things have really taken this form in such a major way. Have evolved to be like food mascots in that way that I can think of off the top of my head, anyway. Not to that level.